Every person has experienced it. You notice someone across a room, and within seconds you've already formed an impression. You may not know their name, their beliefs, or even the sound of their voice. Yet something draws your attention. Sometimes that feeling grows into friendship or love. Other times it fades as quickly as it appeared. Why? For thousands of years, people have searched for an answer. Ancient philosophers believed attraction reflected harmony between souls. Medieval poets described it as destiny. Some cultures viewed it as divine intervention, while others believed invisible forces connected two people long before they met. Today, psychology, neuroscience, biology, and anthropology offer a very different perspective. Attraction is no longer explained as a single mysterious force. Instead, researchers see it as the result of countless influences working together. Yet, despite decades of scientific research, attraction remains one of the most difficult aspects of human behavior to predict. Two people may appear perfectly compatible on paper and feel nothing. Others may have almost nothing in common and develop a deep, lifelong bond. So why are we attracted to some people, but not others? In this episode, we'll examine what modern science has discovered about attraction, where our preferences come from, why first impressions can be misleading, and why love continues to surprise even the world's leading researchers. This channel explores psychology, history, neuroscience, and criminology through well-researched documentaries intended to educate and encourage curiosity. Welcome back to Student of the Brain. Let's begin. Attraction feels immediate. Sometimes it happens in a single glance. Other times it develops over weeks, months, or even years. Although we often describe attraction as a feeling, scientists see it as a process. The moment we encounter another person, our brain begins collecting information. Facial expressions, body language, voice, movement, even subtle cues that we're rarely aware of. Within seconds, the brain starts making predictions. Is this person friendly? Can they be trusted? Do they seem familiar? Could they become part of our lives? Much of this happens automatically, long before we're consciously aware of our feelings. Psychologists often describe attraction as a combination of biology, learning, experience, and social influence. No single factor explains why we are drawn to one person instead of another. Our preferences are shaped by our evolutionary history, our childhood experiences, our culture, and the unique events that define our lives. This is why attraction can feel both universal and deeply personal. Nearly every human experiences it, yet no two people experience it in exactly the same way. To understand attraction, we first have to understand why evolution made it possible in the first place. Because long before humans wrote poetry or composed love songs, nature had already begun shaping the instincts that still influence us today. That journey started millions of years ago. Long before humans built cities, long before written language, or civilization itself, our ancestors were already making choices about who to approach, who to trust, and ultimately, who to reproduce with. From an evolutionary perspective, attraction is not random. It developed because individuals who successfully found healthy mates were more likely to pass their genes to future generations. This idea was first described by Charles Darwin in his theory of sexual selection. Unlike natural selection, which favors traits that improve survival, sexual selection favors traits that improve reproductive success. Across the animal kingdom, these displays can be extraordinary. Peacocks grow enormous, colorful tails. Birds of paradise perform elaborate dances. Deer battle one another with massive antlers. These behaviors consume energy and increase risk, yet they continue because they improve the chances of attracting a mate. Humans are different, but not completely. Our displays are often less obvious. Confidence, humor, intelligence, Creativity and kindness are qualities that influence attraction because they provide information about a person's ability to cooperate, communicate, and contribute to a long-term partnership. Evolution also helps explain why many people across different cultures share certain preferences. Traits associated with health, vitality, and physical well-being often receive positive attention, but evolution is only part of the story. Human beings are not controlled entirely by instinct. Culture, personal experience, family, and individual values continually shape biological tendencies. In other words, evolution may have built the foundation, but every human life adds another layer to that blueprint. To understand how attraction unfolds in everyday life, we have to look inside the most complex structure evolution has ever produced: the human brain. Although attraction may feel magical, the brain approaches it as a biological process. The moment we encounter someone who captures our attention, millions of neurons begin communicating across networks responsible for emotion, memory, motivation, and decision-making. Within seconds, the brain starts asking questions we never consciously hear. Is this person safe? Are they familiar? Should I approach? Should I avoid? These evaluations happen automatically, long before we realize we're making them. One of the first systems to become active is the brain's reward network. When someone is perceived as attractive, neurons release dopamine, a neurotransmitter closely associated with motivation, anticipation, and reward. Contrary to popular belief, dopamine is not the pleasure chemical. Instead, it increases our desire to seek something we believe will be rewarding. This is why attraction often begins with curiosity. We want another conversation, another glance, another opportunity to be near that person. As relationships deepen, other chemicals begin playing larger roles. Oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, is released during affectionate touch, hugging, sexual intimacy, and even prolonged eye contact. It helps strengthen trust and emotional attachment between people. Vasopressin appears to contribute to long-term pair bonding, particularly in species that form lasting partnerships. Together, these systems help transform initial attraction into emotional connection. Researchers have also observed changes in serotonin during the early stages of romantic love. Some studies suggest serotonin activity temporarily decreases, leading to persistent thoughts about the other person. This may help explain why new relationships can feel all-consuming, with people finding it difficult to think about anything else. Remarkably, brain imaging studies show that romantic attraction activates many of the same reward circuits involved in highly motivating experiences such as eating when hungry or achieving an important goal. Love is not simply an emotion. It recruits some of the brain's most powerful motivational systems, but these same systems can also cloud our judgment. During the early stages of attraction, people often overlook flaws, minimize warning signs, and exaggerate positive qualities. Psychologists sometimes refer to this as the halo effect. One desirable characteristic, such as physical attractiveness or confidence, can lead us to assume a person possesses many other positive traits without sufficient evidence. This isn't a defect in the brain. It's a shortcut. The brain is constantly making rapid decisions with incomplete information. Most of the time, these shortcuts are useful. Occasionally, they lead us to misjudge the people around us. Over time, as novelty fades and familiarity grows, the brain gradually shifts from intense excitement toward deeper attachment. For many couples, this transition marks the beginning of a more stable and enduring relationship. But before personality, trust, and shared experiences have time to develop, another process is already influencing our decisions. In just a fraction of a second, our brains begin judging appearance. Imagine seeing someone for the very first time. Before either of you speaks a single word, your brain has already formed an opinion. It has evaluated facial features, posture, movement, clothing, facial expression, eye contact, and countless other details, all within seconds. These first impressions are remarkably fast, but they are not always accurate. One of the strongest influences on attraction is facial symmetry. Across many cultures, people tend to rate more symmetrical faces as more attractive. Researchers believe symmetry may reflect healthy development, although it is only one of many signals the brain considers. Clear skin, expressive eyes, healthy hair, and genuine facial expressions also shape first impressions. But appearance is only part of the story. The way someone moves, smiles, speaks, or carries themselves can dramatically influence attraction. Even scent plays a role. Research suggests our brains gather subtle biological information from natural body odor, contributing to feelings of familiarity or compatibility. Psychologists also describe a mental shortcut known as the halo effect. When we find someone attractive, we often assume they are kinder, smarter, or more trustworthy without enough evidence. This bias affects nearly everyone. Studies show attractive people are often judged more favorably in job interviews, courtrooms, and many everyday situations. Fortunately, first impressions are not permanent. As we get to know someone, honesty, kindness, humor, and emotional maturity often become far more important than appearance alone. Someone who seems ordinary at first can become deeply attractive through their character. Likewise, someone who makes a powerful first impression can quickly lose that appeal through arrogance, dishonesty, or cruelty. Physical attraction may open the door, but personality often determines whether anyone chooses to walk through it. And that raises another question. If appearance isn't enough to sustain attraction, what qualities keep people together over time? While physical attraction may capture our attention, personality often determines whether a relationship lasts. One of psychology's strongest findings is that attraction often grows with familiarity. Researchers call this the mere exposure effect. Simply seeing someone repeatedly in positive settings can gradually increase attraction, but familiarity alone isn't enough. Positive experiences build trust, while negative ones can quickly erase initial attraction. Another powerful influence is similarity. People who share important values, beliefs, and life goals tend to build stronger long-term relationships. Despite the saying that opposites attract, research generally shows that similarities predict greater relationship satisfaction. That doesn't mean couples need identical personalities. Differences can complement one another, but agreement on trust, communication, family, finances, and core values provides a stronger foundation. We naturally tend to like people who genuinely like us. Kindness, acceptance, and appreciation strengthen one of our most basic psychological needs, the desire to belong. Humor also strengthens attraction. Shared laughter reduces stress, builds emotional bonds, and helps couples navigate life's challenges together. Psychologists also study attachment styles. Early experiences can influence how comfortable we feel with closeness, independence, and emotional intimacy later in life. These patterns are not permanent, but they often shape communication and relationships. Compatibility isn't about finding a perfect person, it's about finding someone whose values, expectations, and goals fit well with your own. The strongest relationships are built on trust, respect, communication, and a willingness to grow together. But relationships today face a challenge unlike any in human history. For the first time, millions of potential partners are only a swipe away. For most of human history, people met future partners through family, friends, work, or their local community. Today, dating apps and social media have expanded those possibilities, giving people access to thousands of potential partners. At first, that seems like an advantage. But psychology suggests that too many choices can make decisions more difficult. Researchers call this choice overload. When endless options are available, people often become less satisfied, wondering if someone better is only another swipe away. Technology has also changed how we present ourselves. Online profiles usually show our best moments, not the full picture of who we are. As a result, people can begin searching for perfection instead of compatibility. Yet qualities like kindness, honesty, emotional maturity, and shared values cannot be judged from a photo or short biography. Algorithms may introduce people to one another, but they cannot measure chemistry, trust, or long-term compatibility. Those qualities only develop through real conversations and shared experiences. Technology is not the enemy of attraction. Millions of successful relationships have begun online. But no screen can fully capture what makes two people truly connect. Technology has changed where people meet. It has not changed what sustains a lasting relationship, and despite centuries of research, one question remains. Why do some people feel an instant connection while others never do? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. After decades of research, science has revealed a great deal about attraction. They understand how the brain processes faces, how hormones influence attachment, and how evolution shaped our preferences. Yet one mystery remains. No scientific model can predict exactly who any individual will fall in love with. Science explains patterns. People are individuals. Every person is shaped by genetics, personality, culture, memories, and life experiences. Chance also matters. Sometimes timing changes everything. Attraction is more than physical appearance. It begins with biology, but it is shaped by psychology. While chemistry may spark attraction, it's commitment that helps sustain lasting relationships. Perhaps the most important lesson is that attraction is only the beginning. Even after centuries of study, one question remains. Why does one person out of billions become the one we cannot stop thinking about? Perhaps there will never be a complete answer. And that's exactly what makes the psychology of attraction so fascinating. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing. Stay strong and healthy. Much love.